thank Megan Buckner, my former high school player. Let's give her a hand to allow me to come here and do this. Sports talk is for the kids. I'm a former high school coach. I love being around sports and the kids, so we decided to do this and give the exposures to the surrounding area, but St. Martin Parish also. I thank Parish Stewart, my camera guy. Let's give him a hand. You know, the young ladies do not get enough love when it comes to sport. So we decided last year, let's start focusing on some of these young ladies. Most importantly, they're the better students. Let's keep it real. I mean, I did a sports banquet where many people do not know. I had a panel of 7 women. Each and every one of them had a master's degree. And everybody was like, wow, they come from St. Martin Parish. So there's a lot to be known, but that's why we do this. So we're going to get started. We have a special guest and team here today. Are we ready, my guy? Mm-hmm. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the St. Thomas More Lady Cougars, part of the team, volleyball team. We are here with National High School Coach of the Year, 9-time state champion. Oh, excuse me, there you go, Coach. Point me in the right direction, but that's why we're here. 10-time state champion. And you had a 3-peat, am I right? Lord, I love it. You see, that's why I brought you guys here, but listen, say no more. Pick up the mic, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Jessica Burke. Coach, let's tell everybody who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Okay, hi, I'm Jess Burke. I coach at St. Thomas More. This is my 15th season, and I'm from Wisconsin originally. I've been in Lafayette for 16 years. Yep, so my husband works with the Cajuns in the athletics department, so that's why we are here and have been and love it and just haven't left. So the plan was to be here for a couple of years and then move on, but I'm still here. So. All right.
I noticed that you coached some college at Troy University.
Yes.
What was the biggest difference with you transitioning from college to high school?
A lot more emotional development.
Like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, at the collegiate level, the kids are all very dedicated and emotionally mature and don't need as much formation. Obviously, they're older as well, being 18 at least. And when you come in the high school senior, you're dealing with, young ladies who are 14, 15 who maybe haven't worked hard or been challenged or seen adversity, so kind of growing through those things and getting young ladies to really believe in themselves, and to think at a high level and to perform at a high level, where at the collegiate level it's just kind of expected. I think so. Managing that and managing relationships and all of that, the emotional, mental side was a lot different.
So would you say that was a challenge also for you transitioning, or you knew what you wanted to build?
I think I'm more of an empath. I can pick up on people's emotions pretty easily. It's been something I've done since I was young. So I can kind of read body language more than the spoken word. And so I think it was more natural for me to be able to I struggled with it my first year, 100%. I mean, my non-starters played 0 times. Yeah, just the starters played. Well, I was like, I don't need to play you. You're not a starter. But then I got in trouble with some of the parents. And then we figured that out, ultimately.
Coach, listening to that, huh?
Yeah, so, but then, just, you don't need, it's not necessary at the high school level where only the starters play. Everybody is valued, and you need to show that through playing time as well when you can. So managing that was probably really, honestly, the hardest part. But the emotional side, I mean, it was just like being a mom to them, or at the time being like a big sister. Now it's more like being a mom, because I'm 40 plus years old.
Well, you have a large family.
Yes, I have 4 kids of my own, plus all these guys, yeah.
Wow. Well, so Coach, what year did you win your first state championship?
My first year with STM, which was 2010, was the first year we won state. Mm-hmm.
So in your opinion, I know the first one is always gratifying to it's probably one of the best ones, but can you pick one, in your opinion, out of the 10?
Yeah, the year we beat Turlings in the Cajun Dome.
Say it again.
the first year that the state championships moved to the Cajun Dome, and we played Turlings. I think it was 2021. It was 2021. I'll act like I don't know. It was 2021. And it was a huge crowd, and I've never been in a game and haven't been in a game like that. It was super close. We were super evenly matched, and you just had to coach your little tail off, and ultimately we won, and it was amazing.
You can say it. You can say it.
It was sorry, Terry. It was amazing.
But so coaches, being here in Lafayette, you said you're coming from Wisconsin, major difference in culture. You love it. How was the aspect of you getting all these young ladies to believe in you and you to believe in them?
I give a lot of credit to the very first senior class. It'd be really easy for a new group of young ladies, like with a new coach, to dislike me or to think I was too hard or that my expectations were too high or that I didn't understand high school or I was too young or I'd never been a head coach before, you name it. They could have very easily been like, we don't like or we don't trust. And it was the exact opposite of that. The seniors were welcoming me with open arms. The parents were super accepting. Anything I did, they were supporting. I also gave them a lot of input and power in the program as well, which I really believe in. It needs to be player-led. So I think there was a lot of that as well where they just really bought in right away. I don't think if I had that, we wouldn't have been able to win state that first year and kind of set that tone.
Well, you done coached so many young ladies. I don't want to put you on the spot. Let's just pick a few. I don't want to say favorite. Just pick a few. Just pick a few that you might say, hey, enjoyed coaching her. Wish I could have her back.
That's something I'll never do.
Yeah,
I really don't have favorites. Every single kid who's ever played for me, I love and respect. So
you can just see the smiles with these young ladies. Well, Coach, we have 2 new coaches in our St. Martin Parish schools. We have a Hall of Famer over here in Lucinda Darby at St.Martinville. If you have any advice for the new young coaches coming up in the high school, what would that advice be to them?
I would say be consistent. That's the biggest thing is be consistent and be whatever you choose to do, kind of set the tone early and then be consistent throughout, regardless of the player or the person that you're dealing with. I think consistency is key.
And what would be a message to some of these young ladies that say, hey, we are trying to also build programs such as the St. Thomas More and the rest of these young ladies that have all these titles and the reputation of being one of the better volleyball schools in the state? What would you say to them?
I think if you want success at a really high level, it needs to be one of your main priorities. Volleyball needs to be something that is up there with, your homework, your family, your faith life, and then right after that needs to be volleyball. If it's not, then it's not something that you prioritize, something that you pour into. It's not something that you embody. It's hard to find the kind of success that you possibly could if you had prioritized it.
Well, you heard it. She's a national coach of the year. I would take any advice from you. If you tell me to take a little bit of air out the ball, I'll do a little bit of that. I'm just teasing, but hey, listen, congratulations. We just wanted to recognize you and these young ladies. So we're going to bring them in. We'll let you grab the mic, introduce yourself, and you can pass it to her and let the ladies introduce themselves. We want to start from here, from right to left. Go ahead.
I'm Eleanor Guidry. I'm a senior. I'm a libero, and my number is 7.
Hi, I'm Marvel. I'm a senior. I'm a middle blocker, and I'm number 4.
Hi, I'm Marissa Bilodeau. I'm an opposite. I'm a senior, and my number is 13.
Hi, I'm Audrey Wheeler. I'm a senior. I'm a setter, and my number is 6.
Hi, I'm Olivia Wu. I'm a senior with DS, and my number is 3.
I'm Elena Bowman. My number is 12. I'm an outside hitter, and I'm a senior.
All right. So, ladies, we're going to put you on the spot. Who want to do their best impression of Coach Burke? Anybody? Huh? Come on, what do y'all got? I know we all do. We all have done it in the locker room when coaches are not there. I mean, look, one of the young ladies over there said, we did it. Come on now, which one of y'all want to give me your best impression of Coach Burke? What's one of her famous lines or famous quotes in practice? Come on, Coach, say y'all pay attention to details. We put you on the spot. I know the other teams over there, honey. I got one. Please ask me that question when you come up here. But moving on, all right, nobody coach, they don't want you to put them through a rough practice. They're probably too bad. So how amazing to be coached by Coach Burke in your opinion?
I mean, I could not ask for a better coach. If you were to like describe for me, like, or if I were to describe like all my coaching, like out of all the coaches I've ever had, like all of the best qualities, Coach Jess really does have that. She loves us. She's hard on us. It's just she understood like the perfect balance. She meets us where we're at, and we all know how much she really does care about us. And we have a great time every single day in practice.
See, once again, the smiles are just so genuine. So, young lady, I'm going to put you on the spot. What would you say is one of the most, I'm not going to say embarrassing, one of the most fun times you guys had in practice that you can talk about?
Well, I mean, I don't know. There's so many.
Hey, just give us one.
Like every practice is fun. Well, I mean, we play this game speedball before practice, and that's always fun because it's like fast paced. And it's just like a good bonding game, I guess.
Well, you know, the mothers want to call me at the wrong time. But you know, I want some of the other teams to listen to that because teams are bonding. You know, if you can't trust your teammate, who can you trust? And I'm asking those questions because a lot of teams does a lot of different things. For example, I know Coach Darby does a lock-in, if I'm saying that right, where the kids spend the evening and enjoy that time. It's kind of like going camping or something like that in a sense. So I was just asking that question so some of the girls could understand what it takes to build a championship program because everybody has to be on the same page. So what are one of your brightest moments playing in the championship game?
Definitely the energy that the game brings when we're playing. I think it's so fun when you like get a point and your team is celebrating because you're about to win something big, and yeah.
So, how many championships have you played? Games have you played in?
I have played in 2 championship games.
Which one is more memorable for you?
Definitely last year because the first year before that I didn't really play a lot, but last year I was really involved, so it was a lot of fun.
Okay, and what was one of your memorable games in your opinion?
I loved last year. It was really fun, and I feel like the energy was insane. I've never experienced anything like it.
Okay, and you?
Oh, I don't know. I also really liked last year's game. I think definitely the energy was just super high up there. We're having so much fun with it.
So what are we doing with all these rings nowadays? I mean, y'all have a collection, Coach? What are you doing with all these rings?
They're in a box under my dresser.
And there's room for more, huh?
I guess so. It's a big bag.
A big bag, so that means there's room for more. But listen, ladies, thank you guys. Listen, I called her on short notice. She didn't even know who I was. She answered and called me back, and she was nice enough to say I would do this and bring some of the girls. So for me, it's amazing to have you on my show because this show is all about these young ladies. And like I said, it's nothing about me. I'm a former player. I'm a former coach. I'm going to never score a basket again, but I love seeing you guys. And what I want you guys to do, I have it on my sports page. You can be able to rewatch it. I'm going to try to make it to 1 or 2 of the games and come out there if that's okay with you, Coach, and get some live action. And once again, Sports Talk is for the community and for these schools. Any closing comments, Coach?
I would just say as much as you can, just keep playing. That's how you get better at volleyball. Just get as many touches as you can in your living room. All the times that you play, you get better. So if you love the game, you can find a way to play it. Well,
I'm surprised. One of my good friends now, he loves you. He talks about you all the time. Mike Bernard, he does but I'm surprised he's probably going to come in here. Man, I missed her. Y'all know Mike. He's long-winded, but love him to death. But, Coach, we want to thank you. We want to congratulate you again for being the National Coach of the Year and a 10-time, not a 9-time, a 10-time state champion and a quadruple champion. Man, that's amazing, Coach. You know, I would retire after all that. I wouldn't have nothing to prove. Well, you cannot go out. You got to go out as a winner. You know that, huh? You cannot go out as a losing season. I think we'd all be upset.
Many years ahead of me.
Right? You said you're just 40.
Yeah, 41.
Coach, man, wow. You're going to be one of them. You're going to go down in history, and you girls are going to help that. Am I right? Once again, we want to thank Coach Burke. and the St. Thomas Lady Cougars volleyball team for coming out on this Sunday afternoon. Let's give them a big round of applause. Lady Cougars, thank you guys. All right, once again, the ladies of St. Thomas More are state champions and National Coach of the Year, Miss Jessica Burke. All right, moving along. We're going to come back home a little bit. We're going to start here and with our local team. We have a new coach, and we're going to bring up the Lady Tigers of Breaux Bridge and Coach Reggie Noel. Come on up, Coach, and the Lady Tigers of Breaux Bridge. Let's give them a big round of applause. Circle around, ladies. Circle around. Coach, grab your mic. Make sure we know. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Lady Tigers of Breaux Bridge and Coach, first year Coach Reggie Noel. Congratulations. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good today. Kind of nervous.
You know, but that's okay. That's okay. Well, welcome to high school sport.
Yeah.
When you're going to start winning these titles like Coach Burke, you're going to have to be on TV. You know that.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, I'm not TV, but we close.
Yeah.
We are very close. No, first and foremost, we kind of know this young lady through her family and everybody watched her grow up. So it's amazing to watch you from here go up to become a college student, now a teacher, now a volleyball coach. It's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I know your mom and dad are very, very proud. I thought you'd have been out here today, but unfortunately, I guess they're not. But let's talk about it. Was this a dream of yours to become a volleyball coach?
Originally not. I just graduated college in something completely different, and I don't know how this fell into my lap, but it did. It just started with teaching once I was in college. Multiple times I contemplated changing my major to education, and then one random day, I just woke up with a thought, and then it just stayed constantly, like, do you really want to do that? Do you really want to do that? But I went to church one day, and they said if something is constantly on your mind, then it's yours. So that just made me stick with it, and the job presented itself, and I'm here.
Well, congratulations again. You know, we like to say God don't give you what you want, He give you what you needed. And I think these young girls needed a fresh face, a Breaux Bridge face. And look at these smiles on these young ladies. They're all beautiful, and you got them all neat. I like that. You can tell you're starting to build your program into the way you want to build it. So you got the job. You took a deep breath and said, what? What did I sign up for?
Right, where do I start? That's the first thing, was just like, okay, I've been coaching club volleyball, and everybody knows that club volleyball is completely different from high school volleyball. So going from that club coach mindset to a high school coach mindset was completely different. And I actually had, there's no guidebook to say, okay, here, you're a head coach, this is where you start. It's just like you walk in the gym, it's every responsibility, it's yours. And it's like, okay, what you gonna do, coach? Everybody's like, oh, this is what you have to do. What are you gonna do? It's you're the boss.
Yeah.
And just navigating that. But this group of girls is just amazing. They've helped me so much. And yeah.
But did you ever thought you'd say, okay, I want to coach volleyball, but I want to coach at the school that I graduated from? That was like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, that was my only stipulation. The only way I would have coached high school is here at Breaux Bridge High School. I would have never went to any other school. It just only felt right to go back to where it started.
So what's in the plan for the new Lady Tigers? What is Reggie Noel's philosophy and what she is trying to build here in Breaux Bridge? You know, in the past, y'all were good athletes at Breaux Bridge. You have a couple former college players that come to Breaux Bridge that played college volleyball. So what is your plan for the Breaux Bridge Lady Tigers?
Right now, our plan is just rebuilding a family. When I played here, it was such like a sisterhood, honestly. We eat, sleep, breathe volleyball, but we enjoyed it and we liked being with each other. So I'm just trying to bring that back and build on that.
and get us back to where Breaux Bridge once was.
All right. Well, it sounds like you have a great plan. We got to put it in motion. We will be looking forward. Now, once again, you come from a good family of educators and athletes. What was the message to you when mom and dad and the rest of the friends said, my daughter and my niece is going to be a coach? What did the family have to say about that?
I think they were just excited and very proud. Once again, I don't think I'm a very plan everything to the T person, so this was not in my plan. So me shifting my career choice and everything, and it all just happened so fast. I started teaching. I haven't even been teaching for a full year, and then this opportunity presented itself. So I think they're proud of me, and I think they're really, really proud of me just coming back here. And sometimes you don't think certain opportunities it's ever gonna be for you. So I think they're just proud that it's me and an opportunity presenting itself for someone like me, so young also.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, for someone that was nervous, you're doing a heck of a job with your first interview. So guess what? When you do win the state title one year, say, you know what, Coach Scotty, I know him. He gave me my first interview. So I'm going to hold you to that. But moving forward, what was the message to all these young girls? How did you present yourself to these young ladies for them to grasp to you so fast?
I think I just walked in and just put it all out there, my expectations for them, but also just reminded them that I was once where they were. I think these kids relate more because they can understand you, especially when you're so young. So me walking in and saying, hey, I've been where you've been. I've been exactly where you've been, and this is what we're going to have. We're going to take it all the way back to what it was. Now, I know stuff needs to change, time change, so everything will not be the same, but we're going to build on that, and we're just going to make this a family, but then also consistency. If I'm coming here every day and I'm giving y'all 110%, I expect the same thing, and that's just how it's been, and I feel like energy and respect and all that is given. And it's earned. So I give them respect and they give it back to me, but we also have fun. I feel like sometimes they think I'm their sister or whatever.
Well, that's okay to not step down, to step aside and be a little bit, then you move right back into that coach's role.
I think it's a balance, a good and healthy balance of they know when my coach's hat on and my serious voice, and then we might, have a little fun. I might get on the court with them and hit some balls with them, and then I'm like, okay, let's get back serious. We're having a little bit too much fun.
Well, that sounds like a word. Speaking of the young ladies, we're going to bring them in. First, we're going to have you to introduce yourself and tell them who you are. You should be on.
Oh. Hi, I'm Brinsley, and I'm a junior. I've played volleyball since my freshman year.
Hi, I'm Ellie Guidry. I'm a senior, a setter, and my number is 19.
Hi, I'm Malaysia Roberts. I'm a senior, I'm a libero, and I'm number 1.
I'm Nia Albert. I'm a junior, and I'm a setter, and I play right side.
Hi, my name is Athena Davis, and I'm a freshman. I'm a hitter.
Hi, I'm Jaden Nugent. I'm a sophomore. I play middle, and my number is 30.
Hi, I'm Shelby Fields. I'm a sophomore. I'm an outside hitter, and my number's 5.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm a senior. My number's 2, and I'm a DS.
Hi, my name's Riley. I'm a senior. I've played for 3 years, and I'm a DS.
All right, so there are the Breaux Bridge Lady Tigers. Let's give them a round of applause for just giving you a little love, girls. You're not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Yes. All right, we're going to start with you. New coach, in your opinion, what were you expecting and how did y'all grasp so fast for her?
Well, we never really were that consistent in our coaches, but Coach Reggie, whenever she came in, automatically we all just we knew that she's what we needed, and we knew that we needed a fresh start, and we knew that we needed that family bonding in the team, which we never really got a chance to have.
Wow, amazing. You can see once again, Coach, you are putting what's the new song? The boots on the ground. Huh? So you're putting it on the ground and you let the kids know. No horses, but just the boots. So what was the message in the locker room among you guys, among each other after Coach introduced herself, set the ground rules? What was the message among you guys?
We knew she would be a good coach. She showed us to be confident, like even on the first day, and how to have fun. So we just knew from the start that she was going to be a good coach.
Great, great. So how hard is the workouts? That's what I want to know. How hard is the workout?
Honestly, we've probably done worse, so she's kind of easy on us. But
Okay, coach. Okay.
depending on the day, it depends her mood.
You know what?
How hard she's on.
That answer you should have kept that to yourself. But now
workouts are so
now after we leave here, we're going to practice. You didn't know that. I thought Coach winked at the other girls that we're going to practice after this. But so different coaches, different style. How have you guys? You can let one of the young ladies that's standing up. How have you guys adjusted? Who was there last year? I should ask. Who was on the team last year? So what's the difference in how you guys adjusted to what Coach Noel is bringing to the table?
The difference from last year was we played somewhat as a team. Last year it was just kind of hectic, and we really didn't. We had a coach that she was a good coach, but she didn't know how to coach us. I don't know. Yeah, bring us up as a team.
That happens because, once again, when you're not from the area, because I can applaud Coach Burke, who comes all the way from Wisconsin to deal with some of these guys and girls out here. Boy, you must have said that was a culture shock. A coach with all these accents. We still have nicknames, and I'm not going to say my age, but I'm old enough to have a bunch of nicknames. So I can understand what you meant, that, it's a different era. Just like if we go and coach in different states, sports in different areas, kind of different style of basketball, different style of football. It's always different in certain areas. So, you have to adjust as the coach, even as you get older. And I could imagine with Coach Burke and Coach Darby, who've been coaching for so many years, that every other year is a totally different year. So you can expect that. Let's say if you win 20 games this year, don't expect it. You want to expect it, but things happen when it comes. So what is your goal for this year with the Lady Tigers?
My goal this year is just to be better than last year, but not as in statistics, as in mindset. And they know our word of the season right now is just consistency overall. So that's my goal, for us to be consistent as a team, consistent when it comes to hitting, also learning how to communicate. But consistency overall is our goal this year, and just to be better than what we were last year.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, here at Sports Talk, we want to wish you and the Lady Tigers good luck this year, and I'm glad you guys accepted the invitation. It's not over, because I will be at a couple of games. Now, I do radio and stuff. I'm a one-man show, so you might see me pop in and pop out, but you will get some coverage. Once again, good luck to you and the Lady Tigers. It's so good to have a lot of you young ladies and young men in the area that played at the school come back and coach at the school. I think it's amazing because, I work at Cecilia now. They have a couple of guys that played, and they are back to Cecilia coaching, and even young ladies. And I'm like, man, it's amazing to walk down the hallway to watch a kid that I've seen grow up or play in the area. And I know it's amazing to a lot of you that know what I'm talking about. So once again, Coach Reggie Noel and the new look Breaux Bridge Lady Tigers. Let's give them a big hand. Ladies, thank y'all so much. Thank you, Coach. Thank you. Wow, I know these ladies must have said, we never thought we was going to have ourselves to be on Sports Talk or any type of sports unless you're winning the state title or you the best player on the team and everybody wants you. So this is not about, it's about recognizing each and every one of you, whether you are a winner, whether you won the state title, because you deserve it. You deserve it, and I love it, and thank everybody for being a part of this. We're going to move on. We have another new coach in the parish we're going to bring up. Let me say it right, Casey Dusek, and the new look Lady Bulldogs, Cecilia Bulldogs, volleyball, y'all. And I have some familiar faces. I tell you though, once again, I just mentioned that how it was so amazing to watch these young ladies and young men come around. That you like, I coach little bitty basketball, I've coached this and I coached that. I just want to point this out. Cameron Mazarak and her family, we're very close. Watched her grow up from here and here and here. Now she's going to graduate. So a lot of love to you, Kevin and Mrs. Mazarak. Love you guys. Great job with the young lady. So I just wanted to point that out. That's what I mean. Wow, when it feels so good to just watch everybody just keep going. Now, you know I had a birthday the other day, but you heard that at school. But it's amazing, though. And I tell my wife that my biggest joy is to walk down the hallway or to walk down the store and watch to see, and I meet one of you guys, I'm like, Coach, well, I'm a teacher, I'm working here, or I work for such and such, or I have a family. That's amazing for me. That touched me, even though I didn't coach you. Being at the school and being around you, to me, I considered you part of my family regardless. So, once again, love you guys. Miss Casey Doucette, the new Cecilia High School Lady Bulldogs volleyball coach. Let's give her a round of applause, y'all. Coach, what's happening? I told you I was going to get you. You like, I said, see that smile? That's a winning smile. Look at your husband in there. I know, Coach. Introduce yourself. Let's tell everybody who you are. You got to put it on. You see? That's the first part. But let's blame my equipment people. They set up and they ran away. All right, back to you, Casey. Let's introduce yourself.
I'm Casey Doucette. I am from Cecilia. I graduated there in 2015, and I've been coaching and teaching at the middle school for the last 5 years, volleyball and softball.
Well, congratulations joining us. I've been there a minute. Everybody welcome you with open arms. Like you said, your family. You've been in that backyard for so many years. How important it is right now. You became the coach. Was that something you was looking forward to becoming a high school volleyball coach?
No. It was kind of a shock when I found out. I was told and got the head softball coaching job, and then I met with our principal, and she was like, I need you to do this for me. And I was like, okay. Congratulations.
Congratulations, you're the new volleyball coach. So, fast forward, you have, it's the difference from junior high to high school. How big was the transition in your opinion?
Pretty big. It was a lot to just absorb, and I came in and it was like, there was no plan. Like, what am I supposed to do? And middle school and high school are very different, very different.
Yes.
So it was like an adjustment to get used to that and to change, and thank God I had these two young ladies here, and they kind of just was like, Coach, we got you. We're going to help you. We're going to figure it out together. And that's been like the biggest thing for me is like for this team to compete and learn to bond and get along and play together. And so like having them to help me and help get the girls on track and like accept me going from their middle school coach to their high school coach has been pretty phenomenal to watch. And just love that they were so willing and able to meet with me and help me and like decide what we needed together as a team to be successful.
So you would say the transition was very easy, but most importantly, thanks to these two young ladies for helping you with that transition. So what are the goals for you and what are the goals for the team this year?
I think for all of us, it's just an adjustment and to become comfortable with each other. I think that's where we've been struggling lately is being comfortable with each other, not only like on the court, but off the court. And just like communicating, like learning how to communicate with each other and to understand what we all need from each other.
Well, you use the word bond, and you've heard the previous coaches talk about that bond. How strong would you say that bond has gotten, in your opinion, over the last few months since you've been the coach?
In the past few weeks, because it hasn't been long, but I think it's getting better. Each day we do different things to work on that bond and work on our communication. So it's still growing, we're still learning, and I think it's going to just be a growing and learning process throughout the season, just because you can always get better.
Absolutely. There's always room for improvement. Even when the kids say, Coach, we got it. We know what you want to do, but no, there's always room for improvement. Let's talk about the team besides these two young ladies. Anyone in particular that we could look at, or you are hoping that high expectations out of them?
We have 9 seniors, I think 5 actually starting. So I do expect, and I'm looking forward to how these seniors do. They were my first group of 7th graders when I had them in middle school. So there's some seniors that I know are going to stand out, like the whole class I think will. And there's a couple of underclassmen that I think are going to do great things too.
Well, you said that when you senior night is going to be really heartfelt for you. You said these seniors were your junior high kid. Wow, that's going to be a heck of a senior night. Well, we're going to bring in the young ladies here. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Mallory Castile. I am a senior, and I play all the way around, and my number is 15.
Right.
Hi, I am Cameron Mazrak. I'm number 11, and I play all the way around. I'm a senior.
Okay. Well, seniors, this is your what? Second coach in 4 years, right? I've been there, so I know. It's your second coach in 4 years. We're not throwing anybody under the bus. It's just a volleyball question. What's the difference, in your opinion, from last year to this year? With just a few weeks that coach has been the coach, in your opinion?
I would say just getting used to the different coaching styles because nobody teaches the same. Everybody coaches and teaches differently. Everybody has different methods, and everything is different, and you have to adjust.
Well, that's absolutely correct because, you said it. Everybody has a different style of coaching. Just like I used to tell the kids, I'm an old school coach. They got new terminologies now, but it means the same thing, okay? All right? So don't think it's any different. You can't reinvent the wheel. It's only going to go 2 ways, forward or backward. So, Ms. Mazarek, what are the goals for you as a senior captain, and what are the goals for your team being that senior leader?
My goal as a senior captain is just to show the younger girls to always have a positive attitude and to put their best foot forward, to give it their all, because you never know when it's your last game. And my goal for the team is to be successful, for us to grow, to bond, to have a friendship that will last way more than just the sport.
Well, yeah, and I always mention to kids, you want to have a season of friendship. Win or lose, when you walk away from high school, you have good memories. We laughed together, we cried together, we won, and that's part of sport. You're not going to win everything. So, young lady, we're going to move back to you. How hard is practice with Coach Casey? Don't mention act like the other young lady. It's not hard enough.
It's hard.
Because she's going back to practice.
I wouldn't say that it's hard. I would say that it's a big adjustment from different workouts, different practice, different methods. Everything is a really big adjustment, and you have to be able to work with it and adjust, and that is a very hard thing for me to do.
Well, adjustment comes in sports, no matter. It's like a ghost in the night. You don't know when it's going to come. You have to adjust on the fly. So, Cameron, we want to ask you, you made it to the playoff last year, right? First round. Right. Second round. My question is, how far do you think this team can go with 9 seniors?
I think we could go pretty far if everyone works hard in practice, puts in extra work, and we grow as a team. I think we can go very far with it.
Okay. Coach, put you back up here again. Once again, 9 seniors, a lot of leadership. Your expectation of this senior group?
My expectation for them is just for them to step up and be the leaders on the team, and not just on the court, but off the court in the classroom, because they are student athletes, and I always like to tell them that the student has to come first. It can't just be like they're an athlete. If they're not a good leader on the court and off the court, around the community and the school, then they can't be a good leader on the court. So school has to come first, and they just need to step up and be the leaders that I know they can all be.
Well, that's a fine point. And I say this as a former coach. Try to get your team community active. try to get them out in the community, especially when you want fans to come to the games. You want to see them that you're giving back to the community. Even if it takes one day you go to kindergarten class or afternoon, to school and just put a smile on a kindergarten kid's face. Believe it or not, they don't have volleyball. Everybody sees basketball, football players, and that's what they strive on. But you young ladies are athletes too. Y'all are great athletes because we've signed some scholarships here in the area pertaining to volleyball. So, Coach, in closing, any comments for the fans, for the New Look Lady Bulldog? What can we expect?
Just come out to our games and support us and see what we're all about.
Well, we want to wish you good luck. Once again, we are here for you. I'm down the hallway. I don't know volleyball, but I might be able to get somebody to know volleyball. But just anyway, good luck. Lady Bulldogs, good luck. I'm giving them love because this is where I work, y'all. So let's give them a round of applause, Miss Casey Doucette and the Lady Bulldogs. All right, our final school of the day is, and no introduction needed for this lady. Hall of Famer, former Southern Jag. She's done it all in St.Martinville Parish. Over 20 plus years of coaching and teaching. And she's a friend of mine and my wife. It's my wife back there. Everybody, my wife races. So she's family to us. Her best friend was my best friend was her husband, and he passed away, so we her family on this end. So without further ado, we'll bring our little sister up here, Miss Lucinda Darby. Come on, and the Lady Tigers of St. Martinville. Welcome, ladies, welcome. One of you might have to stand, but hey, Coach make y'all stand in practice. Be humble, Coach. Be humble. Say hello to everybody.
Good afternoon, everyone.
All right. That's our family, y'all. We give a little love. Miss Darby. Coach, welcome to Sports Talk again. Thank you. It's our second season. Who would have thought? We started right here a year ago. Believe it or not, we started right here with you guys. Nobody did anything with volleyball. You and I, we spoke, and you said, why don't we do a volleyball tonight? Why? Because you coach volleyball? And you was like, yeah.
No, because I felt like the girls never get enough exposure, and everything is about the male athlete, the male athlete, the male athlete. So girls deserve it as well. Title IX.
Absolutely. Look at the Title Sport Lady Cougars, just 10 titles, but nobody needs to know.
And I'm very proud of Jessica.
10 titles, huh?
I met Jessica years ago coaching with Louisiana Volleyball. When I first started coaching club, my daughter played, and still have a relationship. I'm very proud of her. She did something that, I continue to dream of doing, but I'm at a public school.
Hey, but the lives you have touched is impeccable. I've known that because I've witnessed it. So this is not nothing I've heard. This is something I've witnessed. So you've won quite a few state titles, believe it or not, by just touching someone that is successful. You have also produced a professional volleyball player, which is hard to do in the public school. So you have done your job. So let's give her a round of applause for being the person that she is. But all right, we're going to talk about the Lady Tigers in St. Martinville. We had the lockout. You had a little fun. You brought in some personal training. You got some dancing in front. So let's talk about the New Look Tigers this year, 25-26 season. Talk to me.
I have a lot of expectations for the team. I'm just hoping that they buy in. One of the main things was changing the culture and the mindset in the public schools. Public school kids just seem that they can't get even, and the job is to get even. We could win state championships like St. Thomas More, Turlings, Lafayette Christian Academy. We can do the same things as them as well. We just have to work harder. One thing I'm proud to say that I was an active member of the Louisiana Volleyball Coaches Association, and we got the rule change where we could work with our kids year round. Now it's up to our kids to buy in so we can get even. You can win championships too. You have to change your mindset, change your culture, change the people around you, and be positive. It's really hard to do when you see negativity or we can't beat them in your mind. It's a mindset shift. And that's the biggest part that I'm dealing with right now is getting them to shift their mindsets. They have to change their mindsets and say that I can compete with anybody and I'm just as great as anybody. You cannot put yourself down. You have to learn how to be a hard worker. You will see your fruits of your labor if you continue to work hard.
Well, you said a mouthful. You know, people don't realize that being an athlete, yeah, you look at the physicality of someone, but boy, it takes a strong mental athlete to become a great athlete. You can look so good, but if you can't run and think at the same time, we're having a problem. We are having a problem. So that was a fun. I hope they're paying attention. I'm not being sarcastic, it's being real. Sometimes we look at a kid and like, wow, he or she's built. But yeah, man, you know, it's hard when you can't think and you're going in the wrong direction. But Coach, back to you and the Tigers. 20-something years at St.Martinville. What has been the biggest difference coming into this season compared to the past years?
Again, right now, I had to do some background evaluation on myself as well. You know, the kids are a little bit different, and I had to start making a mindset shift in my mind that I'm gonna get whatever I put out. So I have to put out a lot for them to see a lot in me, in which I does that on a daily basis. Spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, I'm always evaluating what am I doing to make it better or make it great. And I'm just hoping that they see it. Right now, in the back of my mind, I'll tell myself, sometimes I wonder if they're really listening to me, because sometimes I don't see it. So I'm just hoping that they're hearing, maybe it'll come out.
Well, hopefully if they paid attention to what I just said and all the other coaches just spoke about what it takes to bond, to build those programs, the hard work, the dedication. And if they're not paying attention, they don't want to be a winner. That's the first thing as a player. You have to pay attention to detail. Because if you do decide to go on the college level, Coach Burke talked about that earlier. Coaching college kids and coaching high school kids is a totally different animal, and it's a whole different structure. You know, people don't realize that coaching college and everything is strategic. You have so many different phases of the game. You'll be like, wow, we didn't do that in high school. But no, we didn't have to do that in high school because we didn't have enough time in high school to put all this in. But you have to pay attention to detail. So, Coach, once again, you said you have high expectation about the team. Let's talk about some of these young ladies you have here. I'll have them introduce themselves, and then you could tell me what's the expectation with these seniors, that if they are seniors and juniors. So why don't you grab the mic, and you'll grab a mic, and we'll start with you, young lady. Let's say to everybody who you are.
My name is Anna Party. I'm a junior. My number is 8, and I'm a DS.
Hi, my name is Samaya Hogan. I'm a senior. I'm a middle hitter, and my number is 23.
Hi, I'm Tamara Jefferson. I'm a senior. My number is 17, and I'm an outside hitter.
Hi, my name is Gonzalez. I'm number 10. I'm a senior now. Number 10.
Oh, that's
and I'm a libero.
Okay, let me say this about those 3 seniors that's here. Last year we played Haynes Academy in the second round of the state tournament, and we lost to Haynes. But those 3 girls and then 2 other juniors, we have 6 seniors. Those 5 girls played, and we went to play Haynes in the second round of the state volleyball playoffs, and they were instrumental in us getting to the second round of the playoffs. So we have 5 of them returning to play again this year. So we're looking for an incredible season with these senior girls. We're just hoping that they find a niche where somebody could just get up there and take over and say, hey, this has got to be done this year or it will never get done. So one of those girls have to step up and lead the team. And I have Hannah, who's a DS. She played her 10th grade year, but then decided, she had a leg injury and she couldn't play. And she returned back this year to play. So that's good that we have her back in the backcourt for us playing defense again.
So, young lady, since she's speaking about you, you're a senior, correct? Junior. Being a junior, like she said, you sat out a year. What was the message this year coming into your teammates? Did you have a message for any of the young, for the team, I should say?
I would say I had a message for myself of trying to meet the expectations again that I missed out on in the year.
Well, you know, you're right. It starts with yourself. If you're going to give advice, you got to take your own advice. So what you're saying is you had high expectations. You had advice for yourself, and hopefully it'll carry on to the team. So we're going to ask you, did y'all have fun at the lock-in the other night? Let's get. So what we were doing in there? How much dancing were we doing in there? How much fun did we have? And
It was a lot of fun. We learned how to zydeco. That was my favorite part.
you learned how to zydeco. You didn't know how to zydeco? No, don't feel bad. I don't either. So how much of a bonding experience having that lock-in, in your opinion, means to you and your team?
It really helped us. We got to, bond with the underclassmen and, our class too. It really helped a lot.
Well, that's what everybody keeps talking about that. We're going to move on our left side. What's the goal for you and what's the goal for the team, in your opinion, this year?
My goal for the team this year is, my personal goal is to win district champs, because that's always my goal. For the team, of being able to communicate with each other, push each other to our limits to be better, and just being there for each other as a team.
All right, so we're going to bring her in. So, young lady, how tough is Coach Darby in practice? We're going to put you on the spot.
I'm being honest, she's really tough. I think it's because she's old school mostly, so we have fun, but it's
I like that. You heard
So.
that? Old school, I like that. All right, who's going to do their best impression of Coach Darby in practice?
I think somebody
Where you going with that?
Because somebody does it. Come on, I know we all done it in the locker room. I've done it with my coach when I was in school. Who's going to do that? Anybody?
Why would you do that, Coach Scotty?
We want to have fun. Go ahead. Give me your best impression of Coach Darby. Don't you mess with her at practice tomorrow.
Not.
Go ahead. It has to be funny because she's laughing already. Can't do it? We're going to put you on the spot. We're going to catch you before you go. Look, Coach Darby's saying, why are you putting your head? Coach, why are you doing that? Guys, Coach Darby and the Lady Tigers of St.Martinville, let's give them a round of applause. But you're not going nowhere, Coach. You're not going nowhere. 27 years of coaching, a couple of new high school coaches in the parish. What's your message to these young coaches?
Again, like Jess said, be consistent. I'm very proud that we are able to do this and let you see. They didn't have this when we first started. Giving you the opportunity to expose your team, put yourself out there. I'm always available. I've been mentoring Reggie. I've been mentoring Claudacia Watson. She's at Northside High. She was a former player over there at Northside. So the old coaches, it's our responsibility to help mentor you guys so that the programs can continue to be great. We don't want them to fall by the wayside and they just forget about girls, athletes, all in general. So I say just be consistent, keep doing what you're doing, keep your head up, and always trust in God for anything that you do. Everything else will fall into place. If you have a mission that you speak to God about, He's definitely going to give you the desires of your heart. So whatever is in your heart, you keep doing what God tells you to do. And just trust me, it will prevail. It may not seem like it'll be today delayed, but never denied. God will never deny you anything that you desire to do for yourself.
Well, you put God first all the time, you can't go wrong. When, like this young lady said, if you're old school, you always have God first if you're old school. Wow. Second year Sports Talk has been on. Second time the Spike-Off. Thanks to you and your suggestion. Thanks to everybody that say, hey, try it, man. Go out there and do it. Have a little fun. It's gonna pick up. It's gonna take off. It did. I've interviewed a lot of people over the last year, from high school coaches to college coaches to people in the neighborhood, just to bring that awareness that, hey, this is for everybody to see for these young ladies. And I really hope you enjoyed it. And I really hope you go back and look at Sports Talk and give me some reviews. Say, hey, because I'm doing it for you guys. Trust me, it's all about you. I love it. Mr. Mazerat, Kevin, we know we've done bitty basketball, and we took down the goals and put the goals back up for many, many Saturdays. So you know where I'm coming from. I want to thank my guys back there, man. Look, Mike the Chinese man at the radio, my boy. I call him the genius. Kevin the genius. Bono. Listen, my biggest supporters. We do Friday night football together. So when I call them to come out and just be a part of the audience, they look at them. They right there. Mike, they might be eating, but they're right there. That's my guys. Nothing but love for you guys. Thank you. Once again, Sports Talk. Second year in a row. Let's continue to build this. This is for these kids. Support us. Watch it. Y'all have anything I can add to the stories or whatever, call me. We'll go out there and we'll video and put you out there because it's free. It's for the kids. I want to thank my guy Parish Stewart on the cameras. Excellent person. He does videos and everything pertaining to photography and videos. So if you need any pictures or anything like that, hey, he's the best. He's my guy. Once again, this has been Sports Talk. Live at Crazy About Crawfish in Breaux Bridge. I want to thank Megan Butler again. Always, when I call her, she said, come on, Coach. Don't even think twice about it. We want to thank the Lady Tigers of St.Martinville, Coach Lucinda Darby. We want to thank Coach Casey Doucette and the Lady Bulldogs of Cecilia, Coach Reggie Noel and the Lady Tigers of Breaux Bridge, and my special guest, the St. Thomas Board Lady Cougar and National Coach of the Year, Miss Jessica Burke. Thank you for coming out on the Sunday. This has been Sports Talk in Breaux Bridge. Crazy About Crawfish. Have a great evening. Thank you, guys.